I'm Delia with World News. Last Thursday, Kurds launched offensive to take Sinjar, a city in Syria, from ISIS. The operations include 7,500 Peshmergas, the Kurdish military force, who are attacking the city from three sides to take control of supply routes, according to the Kurdish Region Security Council. Senior international correspondent Nick Payton-Walsh is three fronts of fighters who launched their liberation operation early Thursday morning against a backdrop of airstrikes. A pitch-black sky was lit up by a lot of coalition airstrikes following days of bombing. At dawn, a large procession of Peshmerga started sneaking their way through Syria mountain and behind it, Payton-Walsh said. The coalition trucks were pounding the city itself, he said. With the four different columns of smoke darkening the horizon above, the strikes on Syria almost make the sky over it look black. There's vast amounts of air power more intense in the fight for Kobani. Kobani is a Syrian border town that was wrested back from ISIS militias earlier this year after 4 months of fierce fighting that left parts of it entirely flattened. Most of the civilians believe that once the smoke fades, their Syria will be much like the situation for Kobani. For now, most of the people are getting as far away from possible until weapons are put down. Now on to national news.
Thank you, Delia. Now on to national news. On Tuesday, November 11th, 2015, the GOP debate was held. Many of the topics included the $15 minimum wage, but candidate Donald Trump says he has a better idea, and Ben Carson says it would decrease jobs. Many others say similar things to Ben Carson. Job increase was a large topic about expanding large corporate businesses. Everyone is talking about how everything Obama has done is a disgrace and everyone's separating themselves from Hillary, basically separating themselves from Democrats, which they're obviously not. One of the widely talked about topics was immigration. Trump, of course, he has to speak his mind about it. Trump speaks his thoughts on immigration. It ruins the economy and courts have not been running in our favor. We are a country of laws, we need a wall, and a wall will be built. And if you think walls don't work, just ask Israel. Walls work. Donald. When Trump was asked if he could really ship millions and millions of people out, he said, they need to go out, maybe they'll come back, but they need to get out. Rand Paul said his argument was ridiculous and we have no choice. Are his thoughts on it sending immigrants out? Cruz believes we need to further secure our borders, and Bush says to win presidency, you have to have practical plans, implying Trump's plans are impractical. Thank you, and now moving on to Cade with state and local news.
Hello, I am Cade Isles with State News. And let me ask you this. Do you believe in Bigfoot? Well, according to Cataline and a hunter, he is. It was 41 years ago this November. Me and two other girls were inside a car. We saw a movement from afar, and then the creature ran up fast. That thing was throwing itself at the car. It was the most horrible thing you ever looked at. Its face was all slimy and everything, Cataline said. She and the other two drove away in fright. She says it was big and had a slimy face. She later came to the conclusion that it was someone in a costume, but then she said it was too realistic to be a costume. The most recent sign of Bigfoot was on October 10th. A man said he was hunting with two other people in Morgan Monroe State Forest in Martinsville. He was separated from the group, but then heard a howl that terrified him. I heard a sound that still haunts me today. It was the loudest howl I ever heard, and I've grown up in the woods. I've heard numerous animal noises, including the crazy coyotes, and this was not a coyote. It was almost as if I spooked what I believe was indeed a Bigfoot, and he was letting me know that I was in his territory. So is the legend true? Does Bigfoot really exist in Indiana? Now to you, Mikey.
Thank you, Cade, for the wonderful news. I'm Mikey Maris, and this week's all about the veterans. Veterans Day is all about the past and the present day veterans, but don't get it confused with Memorial Day. That day is to remember those who have fallen. To all the families with veterans, most will be coming home, but those who are not, we thank you. We dedicated this episode to those who have served and those who have passed in our military. We end this episode with a big thank you.
This is Canaveral at Noblesville West Middle School, and we want to say
Thank you, veterans.